Welcome to the Fearless Female Entrepreneur. I'm your host, Katarina Kormas. This is a podcast for women who are ready to break free from the 9-to-5 and confidently create a blended life that feels free, fulfilling, and fully aligned. Here, we're all about building a lifestyle that fits you, combining business, career, family, passions, and purpose into one beautifully unboxed life. Through mindset shifts, inspiring stories, and real conversations, you'll learn to live and lead fearlessly. Tune in for solo episodes and interviews with women doing life and business their way, boldly, creatively, and without apology. If you're desiring time freedom, financial freedom, and the freedom to live with purpose, you are in the perfect place. Hello. Welcome back to the Fearless Female Entrepreneur podcast. I'm so happy you're here. I am especially happy to be back for this new season because it has been one that I have been dreaming of sharing with you. It has been on my heart for a while to come back, but it has taken a bit. But here we are. And this is a season where we are going to burn down the rule book and learn to live life our own way. So, to be honest, since I started this podcast back in, I think, 2018 or 2019, I've been holding back. Something didn't feel freeing about the way I was hosting the podcast. I wasn't hosting it in a way that I really truly wanted to host it or envisioned hosting it. I was curating it. I was trying to make it all polished and purposeful and honestly kind of businessy. That's not even a word, but I thought I had to keep it strategic. I thought I had to stick to certain topics so that it would basically lead somewhere, right? It would lead to a business result. But in doing that, I really felt like I was leaving out the real stuff, the raw, the unfiltered, the truths about, all that we feel, but we don't say out loud, if that makes sense. I didn't talk enough about the things that we struggle with or that I struggle with, the moments of doubt, the identity shifts, the random existential spirals that we have at like 2:00 in the morning. I wasn't talking about the joy of discovering something new about ourselves after we've gone out through those rough journeys, those rough decisions, the universal plot twists. I wasn't really speaking about the grief of deciding to let things go, things that no longer fit us, and how hard those moments are, but how freeing they are in the end. I was filtering out the mess, the messy middle, the stuff that we go through 99% of our lives. But the mess is where the magic happens. The mess is where we have those deep aha moments, those moments of, hey, this sucks, but wow, am I learning so much about myself? And in doing so, I was filtering out me. I was putting forward this like version of me that was, polished and shiny. And I wasn't showing the dents and the dust and the missteps. I was all coiffed. And, I think about it as like, I had my pearls on and I was, everything I said was, or everything I brought to the table, the topics I chose were very calculated. I wasn't showing you the messy bun version of me, the yoga pants, the dust bunnies in the corner of my house, which believe me, I have plenty because I can't keep up with cleaning my house. So this season is going to be a little different. It's going to be more me. It's going to be more real, more honest, more creative. I'm opening up, the conversations I actually want to have about freedom, about fulfillment, about making life feel like it's ours again. And I hope that by sharing these stories and sharing these insights and these reflections, you'll feel a little bit more seen. You'll feel a little braver to do it, or more brave? Anyway, you'll feel brave enough to do it your way. This is about giving ourselves permission to, live life the way we envision it, the way we want to live it, outside of the boxes. And so I'm going to be sharing, solo episodes. I'm going to be sharing interviews, but we're going to really be talking about the raw, the, you know, funny moments, the oh my gosh, what just happened moments, and the lessons that we learned through it. And also all leading to being able to live life our own way. So if you're new here, hello, I'm Katerina. And this podcast is where we are going to break the rules. And I am not a rule breaker. I am a rule follower, but I think it's time we break some rules. We're going to talk about creating a blended, freedom-filled lifestyle that actually feels like you. Not like somebody else. We're not borrowing anybody's life. We're not borrowing anybody's success stories. We're not borrowing anybody's idea on how to do it. This is about a life where you don't have to choose between your career or creativity or your purpose or your paycheck or structure or spontaneity. You get to have and make your own mix. And this is where you get to create the lifestyle that's not just a business or a career. It is all the little pieces that light you up, that give you that spark, that excite you, and giving you the permission for what excites you right now and how you want to live your life now being something that might change tomorrow. It might change in a year, 5 years, 10 years, and that is okay. So I am so excited to dive in. Today, in the introductory episode, I want to take you back for a second to tell you a story of how I built my freedom lifestyle, and it is not in the way I expected. It started when I was working in my nonprofit job. So I worked in the nonprofit world for 16 years. And on the outside, it looked like I was doing great. I was moving up the quote unquote corporate ladder. I was hitting my goals. I had this long 16-year career. But what you didn't see behind the scenes was that I felt so trapped. I felt stuck. I dreaded every single morning I had to wake up for work. I lived every day craving more time freedom for the things that I wanted to be doing. I felt like somebody was holding me back, that I couldn't be free, that I couldn't do the things I wanted. I felt like I was being punished in a way. And I wanted to make this bigger impact. And even though I worked in nonprofit and they did good work, I didn't feel like I was making that direct impact that I wanted to help people, help them. And I wanted to do it in a way that was my own schedule. I didn't want to look for approval to take a day off or approval to bring a creative idea to the table. I didn't want the red tape. I wanted to breathe. I felt like I was suffocating all the time. My life felt like it was being drained out of me and controlled by somebody else. And there was this moment, and I've told the story before, where I was at work and I was done. I had nothing left to give at this point. And I remember lying and saying to my boss and saying, I have a meeting. And I went home. I didn't go to a meeting. And I laid flat on the living room floor. Like I literally dropped everything in front of the door, laid on the living room floor face down, and was like, I'm done. I've got nothing. I've got nothing left in the tank. And I started working with a life coach, and I had realized this is it. This is what I want to do. This is the direct impact I want to make on everybody else. And I was like, this is what I want to do. I can do this. I can get enough coaching clients and I can make this my passion, and I could do this. I can make a business out of it. And I'm like, this is going to be the answer, right? It's going to give me the purpose. It's going to be the time freedom and the financial freedom. This is going to be it. This was the magic key, everybody, that would unlock all the things I was missing, the money, the freedom, the purpose, the joy. And I was so excited about making a difference, of being able to create my own schedule. I knew that I wanted to wake up early every day. I wanted to drink my tea or my coffee. I wanted to do yoga. And at that point, I didn't have a dog, but I dreamed of having a dog, and I was going to play with my dog. And then I would start my day and I'd have my coaching calls. And then I would end my day and I'd have time for dinner with my friends, and I'd have time for date night and slow evenings. And so I took the leap. I leaped into the entrepreneur world. And I was told, on social media, they say it all the time, right? It's so easy to go all in on your business. And I listened to the messages that told me that I could be booked out in no time, and I can make $1 million, and I could be so successful. So that's what I did. I was like, I'm going to go all in so I can quit my 9-to-5 job. So I would get up early and I would blog, and I invested thousands of dollars in courses and coaching, and I threw all the spaghetti at the wall, and I was doing everything to grow this business, but I was doing it from a place of desperation. It had to work. I could not get up for work anymore. I did not want to show up for work anymore. This had to work. And I was doing it from a place of, I need to escape the life I have. I need to run away from where I am. I wasn't running towards something. I wasn't running towards something I was excited about and that I couldn't wait to do, something that was going to build my future. I was putting all this pressure on my business, all this pressure for that business to give me everything. And it nearly crushed me. It was so demotivating. I don't know if that's a word either, but we're going to use it. It was defeating and frustrating, and it wasn't working. And the thing was, I only saw two options: stay in the current profession that I absolutely hated or going all in on my business. I didn't see any other option. It was either A or B. And we're taught that, right? We're taught that, our one job or our one career is supposed to give us everything: happiness, fulfillment, financial security, our identity, right? What do you do when you go to a networking thing? What do you do for a living, right? It's supposed to, that's who you are. It was supposed to be, our forever soulmate and therapist and in our ATM. And it was supposed to be like everything rolled into one. But think about that. That's so much pressure for anything, whether it's a job or business or even a person or a relationship. Imagine, and we all know this, right? Imagine if you're trying to make your romantic relationship give you everything. They're the one that's going to give you your joy and your purpose and a financial security and the love and the support and the confidence and the self-worth. We all know that those relationships don't work, right? That is a lot of pressure on a relationship. It never works. It's so much to put on one person, and that's so much to put on one business, right? Our business, our dream careers. And when they don't immediately give us all the things and it's not sustainable full time yet, we feel like a failure. This relationship, this business isn't going to work because it's not giving it to us right now. Right now, I need all the things. I need to make it's kind of like you match with somebody on Bumble and you go on 2 dates and you're like, okay, this has got to turn into marriage now. Right? It takes time to evolve. And the online world tells us either go all in or go home. And if you just follow this one simple strategy, it should work. And all the noise out there that says, oh my gosh, look at me, I'm a millionaire, I retired my husband, and we feel so free, we have a freedom lifestyle, look at me working from the beach, right? How many times do you turn on social media and that's what you see? Those are the messages. Anybody would feel like a failure when they don't see the results right away. But here's the thing. What if we're asking the wrong question? What if we've been striving for something because we thought those were the only options? What if it's not about choosing one thing that gives us everything? What if instead we ask, what pieces do I need to feel fulfilled? What pieces do I need to feel free and purposeful? And how can I weave those together? I find it so interesting. We are such multifaceted beings. We don't just have one passion or one hobby. We are just a whole mesh of gifts and talents and skills and knowledge and interests and experiences, life experiences. We are so complicated, and we're trying to take this complexity of us and say, choose one thing. It's so weird. And choose one thing for life. Have that career for 20 years. Stay in that same situation for X amount of years. And don't expect to use all the other things. It's going to take up all your time in this one career, and you're only going to have little bits of time for the rest of you. It's weird. It's so strange. And that was the shift for me. And it didn't happen overnight. It wasn't even a conscious decision. It was happening as I was trying to break free from something I didn't want anymore. And I slowly created it, right? I became a life coach. I went to school to be a massage therapist. I stayed in my 9-to-5 job, but I still did massage therapy. Then I started my massage business while still building my coaching business, but I stayed in my 9-to-5. Then I ended my career at 9-to-5, had my full-time massage business while still building my coaching business. Then COVID hit. I ended my coaching business. My massage business, still was coaching. Now I'm back to working in massage. It was little bits until I realized, oh, wait, it doesn't all have to come from one thing. And it actually took a pause in my business to realize that my freedom wasn't coming from my business, but from what I was curating in my life to find the things that would give me everything I wanted and needed. I started looking at my life as this canvas, this blank canvas, and I got to choose what I wanted it to look like. And I think about this with our vision boards. If you ever did a vision board, you don't just have one thing on your vision board. Oh, there are probably vacations you want to take, money you want to make, relationships you want, hobbies. There's all different things on there because they all make up what you really want to experience in your life. And I realized that what I was trying to do wasn't giving me the freedom I was looking for. What I was trying to do with making my business be my be-all, end-all, it made me stuck in this frantic hustle energy. There was this mantra of, this has to work. This has to work so I can have what I want. This has to work. This one thing has to work or I can't have what I want. And I wasn't looking up to see, is there another way? I didn't dare ask myself or dare to question the status quo, the traditional approach to life, right? I didn't dare to question what everybody thought we should be doing, right? The 40 hours a week at one job to give you all the things. And the result was I spent so many years, so much time trying to make my business sustain every piece of my life. And now life is so different. And it was a lot of hard decisions and a lot of compromise, but I've created a lifestyle that works for me right now. And I say right now because no, it might not work for me in a year, 2 years, 10 years, right? But the thing is, it works for me right now. And no, it does not look like having a 9 to 5 job, a house with a white picket fence, 2.5 kiddos, a dog, and 2 weeks vacation time a year. Is it traditional? Nope. Is it perfect? Oh, no. Is it mine? Absolutely. Does it give me what I need right now? Yes. And here's what that looks like. I work as a lead massage therapist at a luxury spa. I love my job. I love being lead. I work there Friday through Monday. I love it. And it gives me my love of massage. It gives me my financial security. And it's good. I like it. I also just took a job working 20 to 30 hours a month, and I coordinate au pairs and families. And that gives me a totally different piece of my life, right? I get to connect to a global community and culture. I get to meet new people. I get to see new areas of Austin and just be out and meeting people, and just such a diverse community that I get to meet, and I get to use my coaching skills. I love it. And I have my coaching business, and I get to coach the most amazing women with, you know, these deep desires to do more with their life. And that coaching is my heart and soul passion and purpose. And that business allows me to write. I love to write, and I get to write my blog, and I get to podcast, and I get to, write my outline for my podcast, and use my creativity to come up with the ideas and the topics for my podcast. And I love hosting my podcast. And with that, all of that, and what that gives me my creativity, it gives me my passion, my purpose, my financial security, and then I get to do the other things. I get to take my Pilates reformer classes, which have been on my vision board for 5 years. I get to do that twice a week. I get to go see my personal trainer every other week, and she'll be on the podcast as well. I can't wait to interview her. I get to see my friends when I want. I get to read the books that I love. I get to binge watch my favorite TV shows like Ted Lasso, and it's your own canvas. It's your own definition of success, made up of all the different parts of you, all different pieces that give you what you want. And we'll also, we're going to dive into entrepreneurship, but because if you're here, you probably have a business or want to start a business, which is part of that freedom-filled lifestyle you want to create. And we're going to talk about designing your business, but in a way that gives you freedom to be you, making it look and feel like you. It's about finding the way to do it all, like marketing, sales, working with clients, all of those pieces that work for you. And we're going to break free from all those cookie cutter strategies and approaches to life and business that we all fall into. And like I like to say, cookie cutters are for baking. They're not for business, but they're also not for creating your life either. No part of your life should look like anybody else's. It could be similar, but it shouldn't look like anybody else's. We're like snowflakes. Our lives are like snowflakes. They should look totally different because we're totally different than anybody else. There's no one like you. There's no one that has a dream like you. No one that has a vision like you. You are not here to fit in a box. You're not here to sacrifice parts of yourself for some perfect plan, quote unquote. You get to blend everything together, your passion, your gifts, your desires, into something that is so uniquely yours. And that is freedom. So in this season, we will be talking about mindset. We'll be talking about confidence because this is my jam. But we're also really going to be talking about permission to live life your own way. And I think it's so funny because I feel like my coaching business has come full circle because when I started my business, it was called True Joy Coaching. Then it turned to True Joy Experience. And my tagline has always been live life your own way. But I was always afraid to be free in my own coaching business. I thought I had to be a certain way. And so here we are, full circle. We are untethering from everything and we are living life our own way. And I am doing this podcast my own way. I say we just free ourselves. We're going to be fearlessly ourselves. So this season's all about empowering you. I want to see you do the most magical things in your life, to make decisions that feel good for you without worrying about things like external validation or acceptance. I want you to be the only one you answer to. You are the only one you answer to. And I want to see you bring your magical gifts to the world with your lifestyle and your business and your careers and your hobbies. So I'm so glad you're here. You're going to see some solo episodes from me. You're going to see conversations with amazing women who are building their lives and businesses their way. They're going to share their stories. They're going to share their tips. So if you've ever felt like you are too much, or you are not enough, or you have to hide pieces of yourself, if you've ever questioned whether you're doing it quote unquote right or wrong, or if you've ever just wanted somebody to say to you, hey, there's another way, this is the podcast for you. We're going to look at the other way. We're going to find the other way to look at life, to look at what's possible for you. So welcome, my sweet friends. I am so glad you're here. I cannot wait to do this journey with you, and I will see you in the next episode.